Low-budget filmmaking is what we see in developing countries, and it's very important for us to know how to manage resources. My name is Dennis Ijogu, and I'm a producer, scriptwriter, director, and a voiceover artist, and I'll be sharing with you tips on how to achieve successful low-budget filmmaking. Let's start with the Low-Budget Directors Course Part 1.
Hello and welcome to the Low Budget Film Directors course. My name is Dennis Ijogu and I'll be your facilitator on this course. So we'll be looking at it from the point of view of low budget, which is basically what you have in the developing countries. So the question you might ask is, why the Low Budget Directors course? The word low budget refers to developing countries and the industry, the film industry. And why do we term it as low budget? Because if you look at a film in the Western countries that is costing, let's say, $100,000, which is close to, in our present conversion rate in Nigeria, 47 million naira. Now, $100,000 film in the Western countries is considered to be low budget. But for us here, it's actually falling into high budget because one, the income is pretty low, and the expenditure and the currency, these are all factors that have made it a high budget movie in Nigeria. For you to have a 45 million naira movie, it's high budget. Now, for us in the developing countries, there are some unique challenges we face as directors compared to our colleagues in the Western countries. Those unique challenges are because of the terrain we're in. Now, if you're watching this and you're part of this course, I want you to realize that we're going to be sharing with you the challenges that actually you will face doing business in this terrain. These are unique challenges. Of course, you can have other courses on how to direct and the rest of them. However, they won't be able to give you as detailed in terms of the challenges you're going to meet doing business in developing countries. So that is the whole essence of this course, to acquaint you with those challenges and get you ready to do business. So let's start off.
A film director is the one in charge of actualizing the potency of a script. He uses both the technical crew, which includes the cameraman, cinematographers, audio, and other personnel, together with the actors to ensure that the scripts are well interpreted and is visually stimulating. A film director also coordinates the whole action on the production set to ensure that the vision of the production set is actualized. Although there may be other titles like director of costumes, you name it, there is only one director on set, which is the film director. He is answerable to the producer.
So the question you may ask is, what is the job of a low-budget film director? Now, of course, you have a standard idea of what directing should be, as I mentioned earlier in the definition. But we now add that word low-budget film director, then that means that you need to have additional skills. Let me put it that way. Because the big projects actually have qualified people to handle XYZ. So the job of a director is sort of reduced to the fact that he has to ensure that there's a coordination. You know, you're dealing with other experts in the field, and then your work is just to simply coordinate them. But for the low-budget film director, you need to have an idea of how everything works. Like, you know, it's very important. Oftentimes, the question people ask is, who will make a good director? A good director is oftentimes an ex-actor, someone that has been acting for a while. He understands the industry. He's done pretty well in the industry. So he will make a good director, because he can understand things like facial expressions, movement, emotions, and the rest of them. Because the primary essence of directing really is to ensure that the actors are able to interpret the script, the character, and the emotions. Very, very important. So if a director does not have that connection in acting, doesn't really understand, doesn't really know how the thing works in the industry, it's a bit of a problem. So you need to have a good actor, or rather a good director, will make a great director because he's in the field and it's going to be easier for him to direct his actors. Secondly, a good cinematographer will also make a good low-budget film director because he's able to see the angles. He's able to, during the course of shooting, he's able to get expressions, get the continuity, and the rest of them. So he will make a good low-budget film director. Now, the good thing about having this on your CV, if you're an actor or you're a cinematographer and you want to go into directing, is that oftentimes when we talk about low budget, the film producer might not have as much money. So he prefers to have somebody who will probably double the roles in terms of being a cinematographer and also a director, which some producers do. And it's easier for you to get a job also, even if you have the other crew in place. The producer will feel more confident giving you the job of directing because you have the experience in acting or because you have the experience as a cinematographer. Now, it doesn't mean the audio person might not really have no relevance here if you have history in audio. But I believe if you're able to connect with people emotionally, able to understand things like pitching, how to speak, expressions on your face, your actions and interpreting actions, it is easier for you to make a good director. One of the most important things you should learn as a low-budget film director is the fact that if anything goes wrong, you are to blame. And so you need to go beyond just your workspace and get involved with other people's workspace. What am I talking about? Find out about a lot of things going on around the location, equipment, and the rest of them. Ensure that these things are in place. Now, as a film director, we're going to be talking about the steps you should take and concerning low budgets. Now, the low budget film industry is of course in the developed countries where some of the amenities are not available, and in terms of cash, it's not that fluid, So, but the truth is, yes, everybody around the world, if you're Western countries or developing countries, chances are you go through that rough stage. So, it's a lot of things we were talking about actually transcends beyond the borders. For example, you have bills to pay as a low budget film director, and so you take on so many jobs, hoping the more jobs you get, the easier it is to pay your bills and then make a living. But the actual truth is, the more jobs you take, and within a short period of time, the more chances are you might be confused and will not be able to give the best to the people out there, to your clients out there. So it's important for you to, number one, space your jobs. And I know you might tell me, oh, it's not possible. I have bills to pay, I have kids' school fees and stuff like that. But the truth is, if you take on so many jobs as a low-budget film director, chances are the jobs are going to start having problems. And then you know how the industry is, or maybe you don't know what the industry or how it runs. Once you mess up one project, it's difficult for you to get another project because everybody will don't employ that guy because see what he did to this guy's project. The guy spent X, Y, Z amount of money and it didn't work out. So don't take on too many jobs. Secondly, look at the scripts. A lot of times, because you're in a rush to go from one job to the other, and a lot of things go into your mind, you might not, as a director, really take out time to fill the script. Now, what do I mean? Understand the project itself. Understand the production, what it's all about. Understand what the script is trying to convey to people out there. Don't just look at it as it's a film, so people are going to act and stuff like that. On a surface value, on a surface level, go beyond that and really fill the script the way you should fill it as a director. Because the honest truth is, if you don't have that momentum in you on set, everybody's going to feel it. If people are looking at you to give them some push, some fire in their bones to do better, if you don't have that fire within you, it's impossible for you to change their own momentum. Do you understand? So from the crew to the actors, you must carry them along, and that starts by understanding what the script is all about.
If you haven't, please like and subscribe to our channel.